Assalamualaikum and very good day. I bid to our lecturer, Madam Izati Binti Fuad. So today I'm going to present my article review for curriculum and instruction HED3053 subject. So in my slides there are some of content which are summary, redeeming features, and then drawbacks, introduction, overview, main body, and then the last one is the conclusion. So the first one is a summary. The article that I am reviewing is by Puan Farida Kasim. She is the teacher of SMK Kuala Selangor, and the title of the article is School Uses the Newspaper to Engage Students in HIP. HIP is a highly immersive program where they discuss strategies taken to achieve its goals of improving English proficiencies among students. So this article are focusing on NIE uses, which is newspaper in education, and it can help students and teachers. So the next is redeeming features. So in this article, the author, which is Puan Farida, she had mentioned that their students are already familiar with the concept of experience learning, and then through the experience learning, the student they have achieved the merit award in 2016 and 2018 at the NIE contest, namely Game for Life and Starflix. So we can see and believe that NIE can give a good impact to our students in learning experience. Next one is the drawbacks. Drawbacks from the article is this article have possible gaps of information, and logically for this article of the main point are also well elaborate, and it makes me easy to understand the article. Overall of this article was complete and packed with a lot of supporting details, and they have some evidence, and then the contradiction of the point was well arranged. Okay, introduction. In my introduction, gist of this article is usage of STAR NIE in education in school, and then the effect for students, then the evidence of NIE usage in their schools. After I have read this article, I think the thesis of this article is the effect of STAR NIE as a part of schools HIP. And main claim of this article is to show the advantages of NIE as the part of school HIP. So we go through with the overview. The main and the point claim and the main point from this article is, as I have mentioned before, is advantages of NIE usage in their schools. So they have 4 advantages which The first one, it can increase student vocabulary, and then it can inspire teacher to be more creative in planning their activities, and then it also can encourage our student creativity. And the last one, it can encourage our student confidence level. So we go through with the main body, where we go one by one of the advantage from using NIE in education. So the first one is increase our students' vocabulary. From this article, she has mentioned that newspaper itself provide many word exposure, and then it also have many bombastic word that makes our student get many vocabulary, so that our student can use their new vocabulary in their writing skills or maybe in their speaking skills. And I agree with this author point, and I have searched for supporting article, where this article is from Dhaka University, and the title of the article is Effective of Reading English Newspaper for Improving Vocabulary and Reading Skills of Students. So this article have a report where they make a thesis there, and they have found that 70 students, where 57% strongly agree that their vocabulary is improving by reading English newspaper. So the next is inspire teacher to be more creative in planning their activities. By NIE, it carry out 21st century teaching and learning lesson. We can practice our students' connection to move beyond rote memorization and recall into deeper thinking and reasoning. As an example, in 21st century skills, we make a group activity where the student need to cooperate with their friends, and then they need to think critically of the newspaper, and then they will come out with the newspaper, such as presenting the newspaper, or maybe make a new product from newspaper, like make a building from newspaper, I mean a diorama, and so on and so forth. So it can it can inspire our teacher to be more creative in planning their learning activities. So I have searched the article that will support this point from Star News website, and the title of the article is The Newspaper and 21st Century Learning. This article agree that authentic material are two words that continued relevance of newspaper in the 21st century classroom. So this article might be agree with this author point that newspaper can inspire our teacher to make a creative lesson for that day. And the third is encourage our student creativity. Dear students are familiar with the concept of shared learning experience, and the author also mentioned that students from SMK Sekolah Selangor, they have achieved the merit award. That shows that their students are very well with the usage NIE. So using newspaper, student can provide creative outcome, like I have mentioned before, where the teacher use newspaper and their student provide a creative outcome also. So I have searched the article that will support this point too, where the article title is Teacher Guide Using Newspaper, and this article mentioned that newspaper can be used to enhance skills in reading, writing, listening, speaking, math, social studies, and also science. In this newspaper, we can see that from newspaper, student can provide a creative outcome by mixing the other subject, because newspaper has many knowledge, so the student can be more creative on using that newspaper. So the last one is can encourage our student confidence level. Why I mention this? Because the author mentioned that they use this methodology at their speaker's corner, where the student will be given a few minutes, and then they need to cover the newspaper and find out what is the issue of the newspaper, anything from the newspaper, and then they need to speak out the newspaper about. And the teacher too play an activity where it's an active role in the school, so that it can inspire our student to be more creative, be more confident on their speech. By doing this, students also can practice their thoughts in order to provide a knowledgeable speech. I agree with this point because I have searched for the other article that some agree with this author point, where the article is teacher strategy to improve student self-confidence in speaking. There are several strategies where most of them need their student to speak out or act it on, and so on and so forth. So from this article, we can sure that Speaker's Corner is also one of strategies on improving student speaking skills. So that's all from me. And for the conclusion, the main claim of this article is advantages of NIE usage in education. Newspaper methodology still can be used at our current situation, because in nowadays I believe most of schools or teachers or education believe that 21st century more focusing on technology usage, but newspapers still can provide from the technology, like newspaper online, so on and so forth. So we can still use newspaper, and I think it's more effectively for our student nowadays. So in my opinion, the author can provide more evidence, or maybe can state a lot of article supports, because as I have read this article, the author only mentioned a few of evidence, but it's still can help us to believe that NIE effectively. So this is my main article that I'm reviewing. I get it from Star News website. So that's all from me. Thank you, madam. Assalamualaikum.